Hello, my friends. It's so cool to see you here. 1 a.m. in Kiev, we just had an air alert here. It finished around 30 minutes ago or something like that. Lasted for more than 1 hour. But more on that later. So, what the hell is this? Oh, this is echo. This is echo. It's not supposed to be here. 1 month ago, Russians started their offensive in Avdiivka, and since that time nothing changed dramatically in this area. I still remember, those degenerates trying to spread more bullshit in the media and in the commentaries and saying, check out live UA map, Avdiivka is already taken, it's still there. Motherfucker. And what we saw, just a bunch of Russian tanks burning, and that's basically the picture that we see almost every single day in the reports from Avdiivka and area around it. Tonight we had another air alert. Several Shahed drones were launched at Ukraine, at our cities, and unfortunately we already have several reports coming from Odessa. There were several strikes, again, because orcs cannot fight like men. They have nothing, no idea about such things as honor, honesty, code of war, whatever. They are attacking civilians as always, as they always do, because fuckers are fighting against all Ukrainian people and want us all to die. So several residential houses were damaged in Odessa due to the drone strikes. We will receive the details on the casualties a bit later. As of now, I know that there are wounded, but not much details are known as of this moment. At least not in my case. And I found some very interesting infographics. For example, if we check the Kiev Digital, according to Kiev Digital app, and this is the app that we have here as citizens of Kiev, everything related to your citizenship in Kiev, like parking, taxes, like whatever, everything is here in this app. And we also receive notifications every time we have air alerts. So according to this app, 885 air alerts sounded in Kiev since the beginning of the terror Russian invasion. In total, citizens of Kiev spent 1,027 hours, and 7 minutes in the bomb shelters. It's a crazy number if you think about it. Every single time there's an air alert, our kids have to stop their lessons in schools. They have to go down to the bomb shelters. Same with our establishments. Same with like all kinds of places, malls and things like that. We learned the hard way that it's the best thing to do, literally, if you want to survive. Of course, when like 5 or 10 drones are flying towards Kiev, you understand that Kiev is too freaking huge. There's like more than 3 million of people living here, and chances that you will be the one who will die tonight are very low. But at the same time, chances that somebody else dies are really high. And here I have a small infographic showing the areas of Ukraine with the longest air alerts, biggest amount of time that air alert was active in every given oblast of Ukraine. So we see that in Luhansk and Crimea and Donetsk, and we're talking about the oblasts that the areas basically close to those regions. They are the places where alerts basically don't stop. We have them every single day. Then there goes Zaporizhia and Kharkiv, of course, Dnipro, Mykolaiv, Poltava. Even though Kyiv is rather safe place with rather strong air defense, but still Kyiv is not in the bottom, it's in the middle. You can see that 774 alerts sounded, but I think is it like only this year, because there's 100 more of them actually. All right, and I think we can slowly move towards the Russian losses in the past 24 hours. Russians lost again tremendous amount of orcs. In a single day, 800 Russian invaders died. 14 artillery systems and 2 multiple launch rocket systems were also eliminated. The small number of tanks and armored vehicles, because as you can see from the dynamics, the orcs are losing quite a few tanks every single day. But this, let's say, rather small number of Russian tanks and armored vehicles destroyed in the past 24 hours. Maybe due to, like it happens in the army, someone forgot to give their details from like their area of responsibility or whatever, and yeah, and they couldn't provide us with enough details. So maybe we will see some more details tomorrow. So this is how it looks like as of now, and recently we saw quite a few interesting videos from our guys, our defenders. The Flons asks, do orcs have an air raid siren system? It's not like system, it's just a siren. They kind of do, but it's different from what we have here in Ukraine. Because currently I think that the air defense in Ukraine is the most sophisticated thing you can imagine in the whole Europe. So that's the Russian losses in the past 24 hours. Вітання з Естонії. Hello to beautiful Estonia. All right. Unfortunately, I cannot show you much videos that were published by our defenders. Actually, I consider this for quite a long time to probably create either a Telegram channel or like a Discord and just publish all the videos that are being published on a daily basis from the front lines showing those dead orcs. Maybe I will do that, because unfortunately we cannot show everything that I would like to show here on the YouTube. So maybe I will make like a separate Discord channel for that stuff for you guys to enjoy. Let me know in the commentaries if I should do that. One interesting thing that I would like to show you is the Ukrainian attack on the Russian smaller vessels, smaller troop-carrying vessels in Crimea. There were several successful strikes in Crimea. One of them is this one, performed by the military intelligence of Ukraine. Here you can see the first-person view from the Ukrainian attack drones striking Russian vessels. That it was a bird. Yeah, and that is a Russian, it's called small troop-carrying ship. So such ships can only carry approximately 90 orcs, plus the crew, and several of them were hit by the Ukrainian strike drones. You can see that there's quite a firework there in Crimea. We also know that in Skadovsk there was a big, hilarious strike on the Russian headquarters. We know about approximately 10 orcs dead, 11 not yet dead. They got evacuated, but this strike was really, really bad, judging from the Russian nagging in the Telegram channels. They were nagging all night and the next day, and posting those obituaries for the deceased orcs and things like that. So I think that this strike was a success, I would say. It happened in Skadovsk. And from that, I would like to move slowly towards the Russian cringe, because this thing is kind of cringy here. It's not like we are moving completely into this field of the Russian cringe, but this thing shows Russian TOS-1, so-called reactive flamethrower, or multiple launch rocket system shooting those thermobaric charges. But the coolest thing about this TOS-1 is that it's a Ukrainian one. So basically this one was land-leased to the Ukrainian troops by the Russians. Russians were so proud by this machine, by this MLRS. And yeah, as you can see now, it serves the Ukrainian defenders, obliterating orcs all around the area of responsibility of those guys. Also recently Russians published this cringy picture. Basically they're saying that they are admitting that less people died in 8 years of so-called Donbas than in less than 2 years of the Russian invasion in Ukraine. So basically 2,600 people died between 2014 and 2022, and this, by the way, this picture comes from Russian media. And yes, they admit that more than 4,700 people died in Donbas in less than 2 years. But again, because they're Russians, they're lying, because according to our calculations that we still cannot confirm because we don't have access to this area. In Mariupol is, again, it's part of the Donetsk Oblast. In Mariupol, there's approximately 20,000 dead, according to our calculations. But again, because neither our observers nor international observers, representatives of the UN, none of them can have access to the to this region, to the occupied Russian territories. even though Russians are like part of the UN, but like whatever, UN is useless. So because of that, we cannot confirm or disconfirm this number, unfortunately. And from there, my friends, I think we should move towards the Russian cringe, closer and closer to the Russian cringe, I would say, because recently in Crimea, according to the information from the military intelligence of Ukraine, in Crimea, the mobilized Russian orcs beat up their colonel, okay, and he died. And it was reported by our sources there in Crimea. Here's the news, here's the translation for you guys. So in the occupied Crimea, mobilized Russians beat their colonel to death. According to the military intelligence of Ukraine, this event took place on 1st of November 2023 in Simferopol. A group of mobilized soldiers of the 20th Motorized Rifle Division, part of the 8th Army of the Southern Military District, so-called, they caused serious injuries to Colonel Musurbekov, an officer of the occupational army, held the position of deputy commander of the regiment. Deputy commander of the regiment, he's like second man after the commander. Obviously, I'm captain, I can talk about obvious things. So 6 days later, the hospital in Simferopol stated the death of Musurbekov. He died because of those injuries. And according to our sources, the Russian mobilized orcs who killed him, those that were suspected of the murder of the colonel, they fled disguised as civilians. And currently, the Russians are searching for those for those awesome guys who did this. What more can I say about the Russian army? It's a freaking joke, guys. Yes, they're dangerous. Yes, they're atrocious, but it's a freaking joke. And they have this crazy affinity, I guess, to like barbecue. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe they like being toasted, but they do things like this. This is basically a Russian tank with that grill bar on top of it. Yes, guys, we're moving towards the Russian cringe already. So this is the Russian tank with the grill bar on it. Looks like Msta, the artillery system, but it's not. It's literally a tank with the freaking grill bar on it. Oh my god! I haven't seen any Russian tanks saved from javelin or like a strike drone by that construction, by that innovative invention by the Russian scientists of Skolkovo Center, right? I haven't seen any tank saved by this stuff, but let them build those things. We don't care much. Cope cage, yes, both. That's a cope cage. This is how we call it as well. Greetings from shaky Iceland. Oh, greetings to the beautiful Iceland. They should have put tires on it. Won't help. It didn't help the Russian airplanes on the Russian territory, I don't think that is gonna save those things as well. Oh my God. Like, I remember back in the times of like anti-terrorist operation in Ukraine, like 2014, 2015, we had bars installed on our BTRs, BTR3, BTR4. We had bars on the sides and front and back of the BTRs. Like basically they were like surrounded by those bars. But those bars served only one purpose: saving the machine from the Russian RPGs. Nothing more. Like, we realized that this stuff will not withstand a direct strike by like Russian anti-tank missile or whatever. But RPGs, yeah, basically we could evade being killed by Russian rocket-propelled grenades shot from RPG-7 and similar things. And in most cases, they were very much helpful. But those grills, oh my God. Like, the charge carried by an anti-tank missile is like that grill stuff cannot, like, it cannot save from it, okay? It's just too powerful. It cannot save from anti-tank missile. But they still do that. I've no idea why. Cope cage. Yeah, that's the answer. Oh, and guys, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, because, like, check out all the reports from the volunteers, from civilian volunteers, from all the defenders of Ukraine, from Ukraine and from around Ukraine, right? Check out all the reports about the trucks delivered to Ukrainian defenders, about night vision devices, about thermal scopes, about drones, of course, and other things. Recently, I believe Lithuania gave Ukraine two NASAMS launchers. So the help from the support given by the volunteers from all around the world to Ukraine is tremendous. It's so huge that it's hard to even imagine. It's hard to realize, right? Meanwhile, in Russia, guys, this legitimately cracked me up, I swear. So I made a translation for you. So this is a Russian mobic fighting somewhere in like Donbas, and Russians are so proud that they delivered those rubber boots to this org. And check this out: thanks to the help of our friends and the Moscow Aviation Institute, we were able to deliver rubber boots to the fighter of, this Nova whatever, Novorossiya. Rubber freaking boots. Like, I think if he gets, like, if they contact like Ministry of Agriculture or like Ministry of Transport, maybe he will even receive something like a hat. Maybe mittens, but mittens, I don't know, they should also contact like and involve like Ministry of like infrastructure. Yeah, but rubber freaking boots. Of course, you cannot compare this to what Ukrainians receive from the volunteers from around the world, because like nobody else cares about Russia. Even Russian supporters, even the degenerates who scream in the social media like all kinds of shit about Ukraine, all kinds of degenerates who support Russia, all kinds of degenerates who you know, push Ukraine towards like peaceful negotiations about you know, dying peacefully without resistance and all that kinds of shit. Guys, those people will never go on the streets like massively, right? Or voluntarily, if they're not paid. They will never go out on the streets, they will never protest, they will never like call you know, the government and yada yada for like supporting Russia, because they don't give a damn about Russia, like seriously. And of course another reason is that they are very much politically and socially passive. At most, they can disseminate shit in the social media or in the comments because their couch is too convenient to change it for like a street, you know. But usually it looks like that. I must admit that we underestimated the democratic world and people of the democratic world. As you know, as soon as this invasion started, we honestly underestimated you guys, because we never thought that you will support us so much. And I'm honest, you know, it turned out that people of the free world, they are so much politically active. They can, and that is the reason why their world is called democratic world, the free world. That is the reason, actually. Everybody else, all the supporters of the Russian terrorists, they suck. I don't think that we will see them on the streets as often as, you know, all those massive, you know, meetings for supporting Ukraine. It's obvious. They will always lose in this regard. And this makes me so proud to have, you know, such huge community of friends as you guys. I'm absolutely proud. But I promised to talk a bit about you know, that the operator Starsky. Okay, I talked to myself recently, so I stumbled upon this individual in the Telegram, and of course I decided to message this person. Okay, guys, it was hilarious. Unfortunately, I didn't record our conversation, right? Because it happened like too unexpectedly. I wasn't prepared. Yeah, but long story short, I saw that individual. Okay, the operator Starsky. Like I'm still so mad at that. Like the operator. There is no the in the operator Starsky. You stupid prick. So long story short, I messaged him because, of course, I wanted to find his like PayPal, maybe some other services that he uses to collect money and, you know, scam people. So I said that I want to donate $3,000 to my brigade, and I replied to myself that yeah, but I will not. First of all, like first he replied that he's not gonna accept those money, he will only accept like $500. But then I think he was like, yeah, $500, the dude offers like 3,000, maybe like that, yeah, maybe I'm too cheap. So he deleted that message. And he sent it again, only like, he said like $1,000 instead of $500. Yeah. Oh my God. So I said that I started playing. I said like, dude, don't worry. Those money will go straight to your guys. Or maybe I should contact somebody else. Maybe you have contacts. Yeah, and then he asked like, how much are you willing to donate? Stupid idiot, read the chat. Just read the freaking chat, you idiot. Like, do you have dementia or something? I have dementia. So he sent me his PayPal, which was like josephmayer@hotmail.com. The name of the receiver is Jessica Phillip. Okay, guys, I know that people sometimes contact those scammers, unfortunately, and they're getting scammed and they lose their money and stuff. But guys, when you see a dude who sends you, like a dude called Andriy Kulish, right? Andriy Kulish, or Operator Starsky, whatever. And he sends you some third name, some email containing some third name. And then he also sends you the fourth name, which is again different from all the previous ones. Don't you even think that probably it's like it smells fishy, right? So that's what he sent. And yeah, and he's like, send $500 first, okay? And I started asking like, who's Jessica? And that's my Chasers account. Chasers? Who the hell is Chaser? Anyway, so in the end I asked him whether he could somehow verify that he's the true Operator Starsky, because he's like the Operator Starsky. And he started like playing as well. He went like, no, don't you like, are you just playing with me or whatever? You think I'm a joke? Yeah, well, I can see you're using me for fun. Are you gonna donate or no? And yeah, and I said, F you, dude, I'll just send those money to a person I can verify. And I can imagine this dude who like literally just had three grand just hanging out in front of him, and and hanging in front of him, and like he lost it. But yeah, in the end, I asked him like, just curious, don't you find it suspicious that we have the same profile photo? Which and because guys, like the dude with your profile picture and your name is texting you. Okay, I admit he was not that smart, apparently, because like the dude with your name and your profile picture is texting you. Are you that dumb? Like you don't even pay attention. Like you don't even notice that. Yeah, so in the end I asked like, don't you even like want to find out who I am? Like, dude. So he got curious. He's like, like, who are you? And I said, dude, you won't believe it. And that's when he called me, actually. Um, and he was like, "Hey, man," and I'm like, "Oh my God, is that the real operator Starsky?" And he's, "Yeah, man, I'm a real operator Starsky." And I'm like, dude, I really had an impression, like, I was just talking to myself all this time, You're so good at this. I would like to send you even more money now. And he's like, oh, can you send me $500? I will be so happy. And I'm like, sure, yeah. And then I hang up, and I promised to send him $500. But the problem is, even before I promised to send him $500, I also promised to send him in the jail. So I started reporting him, like first on the PayPal. I contacted the support of PayPal and some other services as well. And then he was like, are you done? Like, where's the money? So that's what my final message to him. And after that, he freaking blocked me, like instantly. Which won't help him though, because if you're so stupid to connect your bank account and phone number and whatever to PayPal, you are effed. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's the story. Actually, guys, I expected, like, the way I imagined it. It was like this. I would just take my phone and call him, like, during the live stream. But yeah, he was too impatient. Poor little guy. Anyways, that's the story. That's the story. And most of the stories for today. It was so good. Oh, I can even hardly describe his accent. Something like, sounded like he was Indian. Maybe I might be wrong. I'm not really good at this. Oh my God. Okay, those were my topics. Now it's your turn, guys. Tell me what's new in your oblast. Maybe he's watching this live stream. I doubt that. I don't think that he's watching my streams. Maybe some other scammers are watching my streams, because I received several messages from my friends who said that some of the scammers even reply, like, with like voice messages, not with AI generated stuff, but they cut piece of like my stream, and they use that record to, like, whatever, when somebody asks them to, like, can you send me a voice message, and they send, like, piece of my stream or my videos or something like that. Rajesh Kutrapali, could be. Rajesh. So that's the story. And yeah, as I mentioned in the previous stream, there was this lady who was like, hello, hello, this is Starsky. Can't believe he wasn't watching the videos of the person he was impersonating. Yeah, he was completely not professional, I would say. But on the other hand, my friend also messaged him, and he was like, can you bring... Oh my God, how dumb he was. He was like, do you like my videos? What can you tell me about my videos? Do you like the topics? Maybe I should improve something. I would be really happy if you would bring more people to my channel, And of course I appreciate it, and I would even more appreciate if he would like share, you know, the people's feedback regarding my channel, because he never did. Little motherfucker. But I would love that, of course. How dumb he was. But on the other hand, of course, I think because he literally robbed a lot of people, probably he was happy to work for my channel as a freelancer. Do those people usually go to jail? I think they do sometimes. Like, it doesn't take a lot of effort to find those people. Recently, I had like there was a need to find a dude in like Germany, and I literally spent 30 minutes of my life and $15. And not only I found this dude, I also found like his past, his true name, and like a lot of information regarding like, you know, his family and friends and whatever. Again, mostly open sources, nothing hacked. Everything was legal, right? Everything you can find on like websites in the internet. But it was so easy. As for those guys, I think like it costs nothing to the police men or women to like trace him down. Okay, so how's the things in your oblast? Let me know. This video is not sponsored by Coca-Cola yet, and of course Coca-Cola never messaged me and never told me to, you know, but even if they did, even if they messaged me and said, would you like to advertise Coca-Cola on your channel, I would say that no, I will not do that, because you know, this is not the purpose of my channel. I don't even have like super chats and stuff like that. You know, so I will not advertise Coca-Cola. Even though Coca-Cola is the most refreshing drink you can have, and it brings you the smell of victory, and it tastes like freedom. Guys, I'm just kidding. Coca-Cola. We bring democracy. Coca-Cola or Pepsi? So it was a hard choice. Like eventually, I decided to switch to Pepsi, but then I realized that Pepsi is just like, nah, like this one is sexy. It's red. You see, it's red and white. Red and white is sexy, like Polish flag. It's beautiful. It has, you know, curves. So I think Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola, of course, because I'm a man, I react to curves and stuff like that. I heard it's really good for your teeth too. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Don't ask that question in Atlanta. Oh yeah. Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is so cool. I drink Dr. Pepper since 2011 probably, but not today. Did I mention that Russians are buying Coca-Cola in Iran? There was this beautiful article in several media, like guys were, you know, like walking around Russian malls and, you know, making pictures. There was like this picture of Iranian Coca-Cola. It was amazing. Pepsi makes Mountain Dew. Really? I didn't know that. I gotta check this information. I haven't had soda in 10 years. Well, I respect you. At the same time, I have this friend, Kolya. I have this friend, Mirko, from Mirno Print, my friend who is also designer. And I have Kolya, okay? We're like three caballeros. We go everywhere together. And Kolya is like that. He prefers healthy food. He doesn't eat bread. He doesn't consume sugar. No sweets, nothing like that, you know. And we can tolerate that, okay, from time to time. But then we decided to go to the movies, okay, and we went to this movie theater, and we were ordering like popcorn and hot dogs and other yummies, chips, plenty of Coca-Cola, of course. And Mirko also ordered something like that, and Kola is like, he was like, water, please. Just still water. Like, dude, you're going to the movies. Oh my God. You gotta have fun at least sometime in your life. Life is fun, guys, and it's short also. Yeah. So we have 1,500 friends online right now watching our stream, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's Friday night, guys. Tonight we just talk about stuff, about updates from Ukraine, about life. We're chilling, we're talking, and yeah, we're asking and answering questions. Need popcorn and ice cream for movies? Absolutely. And he's like, water, please. He's like samurai, you know. He's like enlightened. Could you think about coming to Blue Sky? Oh yeah. So I was invited several times to the Blue Sky. Do I like? Is it worth it? I want to know. If it's worth it, yeah, I will do that. Okay. He probably can't be trusted then. Well, Walther, I feel like a bit. I don't trust, you know, the people who don't drink coffee without sugar, okay? Because I tried to drink coffee without sugar, and I failed. And the dude is like, every time he orders coffee, okay, he's like, I would like to have coffee with like without sugar, without water, without milk, without coffee, you know, just give me an empty you know, cup. I'm a bit scared of people who drink coffee without sugar, probably because, like, you know, like they can kill people with the same expression, you know, without even changing it. I believe they're dangerous. Raven, are Coke bottles sexier than Pepsi bottles? Absolutely, they are. How can we best get supplies directly to soldiers in Avdiivka? Know any good fundraisers? So it's like that. If you know some specific brigade that is fighting there at this moment, and if you really want to support them, try to contact them directly. Try to contact their like communication people, okay? their press officers, for example. Also try searching the charity foundations that already support them. Just Google. I think there might be a chance that they have like a web page in English. So it may work. Sugar is poison. Dan, I agree with you. Sugar is like, it's bad. It's really bad. But life, long life can be also boring, you know. Are you aware of brigade using bikes to move supplies? A lot of brigades do, and for example, my brigade also uses bikes, like sometimes uses bikes and buggies. M2M, hello bro. Vodka or scotch or Jack Daniels or rum? Choose one for me, please. I think the choice is obvious. I think it's rum. Because rum is sexy, and also, like, when you drink rum in the morning, it doesn't mean that you are an alcoholic. It means that you're a pirate. So it's rum, 100%. Oh, Secular Sakai, I have been in touch with the 110th. They currently seem to be in great need of funds for drones and anti-drone guns. I was asked about 110th by, I think, Georgie from Ukraine Matters, just today. But I don't have connection with them. But Georgie has. I hope you do not become diabetic, and I hope you find many reasons to stay alive. You would be an awesome grandpa. Sally, thank you so much. Yeah, I think I will, because like I will be a perfect grandpa. I will be playing with my grandkids, like, and I'm talking about the computer games, of course, like 24/7. People usually, when people think about being old, they go like, oh, like, you know, I won't be able to like run, I won't be able to have like sex 7 times a week. Yeah, there are such losers. And they go like, being old is bad. Guys, you have your life is free. You manage your life from now on. If you're old, you can do whatever you want. You can play computer games. You can play multiplayer games. You can play whatever you want. So I think being old is awesome. And people respect you for some reason. Which may not always be deserved. I'm just kidding. Always respect people. Don't hear much about your brigade in the news. They are very sneaky breaky. It's good security. Well, actually, there were quite a few news recently. There were quite a few news recently, but I cannot talk much about our current location. Raven, is sexy the word of the day or something? Is the word of the year, considering the recently discovered sex tunnels in Ukraine. Rum without Coke, please. Nestor, nice joke. Run without Coke. I heard in some places in the US you can be like beaten, beaten, beat up, punished for drinking rum with Coke. I never checked. Do you ride motorcycles? Not really. Can I identify as a pirate? Not just can, but must. My grandpa lived to 95, had 4 sugars in his coffee, ate sweets all the time. Sammy, that's like me, okay? In like 50 years. Went as you found them. Still looking, actually. I even involve my dog, okay? I make him search for those sex tunnels. But no luck so far. Ever listened to Pantera? Of course. Everybody did. Pantera was awesome. Which year did the Dimebag Darrell die? Was it 90s something or 2000s? It was so many years ago. How much fighting have you personally seen? Starting from 2015, quite a lot. Near Піски, Мар'їнка, Красногорівка, Верхньоторецьке. We had it almost every night. And then in the brigade, in the National Guard, 2017, 2018, near the Svetlodarsk Bulge, same picture. 2019-20, again at the Svetlodarsk Bulge. That was like probably one of the hottest years before the big invasion, of course. And then the big invasion, Hostomel, my friend. And after that, not much fighting at all before this year, before summer this year. But this deployment wasn't like, you know, fighting like in the first line and stuff, because it rather looked like evading artillery and strike drones. Most of the time you just try to, you know, stay in the shadow and just avoid being hit by a strike drone or discovered by a surveillance drone and then hit by artillery. Because everything wants to kill you on the Donbas. Darrell death 2004. Yeah. He was a great man. Does being bald give you a tactical advantage in combat by being able to blind the peders from various ranges? Actually, yeah, like it's one of the reasons. Another reason is that it gives me more aerodynamic, right? Aerodynamic. So when I'm riding a truck or a car or something like that, this vehicle can save some fuel, and fuel is very expensive nowadays. So I care about our economy. Will you visit the US after you win? Absolutely, I will. Because, so first of all, I want to visit Texas, El Paso in 2017, in 2018. Actually, I was supposed to go to El Paso to the Academy of Sergeants, and I had to pass some courses there because a lot of Ukrainian NCOs come to El Paso every year. Usually those are the guys from the armed forces of Ukraine, like Ministry of Defense, but I was supposed to be like the first NCO from the National Guard of Ukraine. I failed, not like I failed, I got promoted to the position of the press officer. That's why another guy went instead of me, because I was given a rank of the Unterlieutenant, right? And this guy went instead of me. And I think he deserved that. Yeah, he was from the infantry, and like he was one of the best. El Paso, then Washington D.C., because I've been to Washington D.C. before. I would like to see the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum again, because like this is the coolest place ever. And then I would love to see places like Vegas, because Jake Bro lives there. Places like where does Stephen King live? In Maine somewhere, right? That area as well, because Stephen King is like, he kicks ass. He's awesome. And maybe something like California. All right. Feels amazing to have a freshly shaved head. I cut myself so bad 2 days ago during the previous, before the previous stream. I was bleeding like a dying pig, like literally. I was just washing my head like constantly with cold water, and this water was red like all the time coming from my head. It was so cool. With that bald head, Starsky can set records swimming across the Dnipro. Yeah, do you remember that dude who was swimming across the Dnipro trying to escape cops during the COVID shutdown? Remember? I think I would be able to like catch that dude. It's a long story, guys. Do you listen to Ginger? I do. They're nice. Actually, I've been to their concert with my friend. Tanya is so tiny, by the way. She's like she's like 5 feet tall, something like that. You should do a meet and greet in USA when you come. I would love that. Mercado Media in the US, of course. Of course. Florida. You know, if I like, there's no sense in going to the US if I don't visit Florida. Absolutely. I gotta meet this famous Florida man, by the way. Why is Ukraine sometimes pronounced as Ukraine? Hard to tell. I never heard that. In Ukrainian, Ukraine is Ukraina. Hastings or Russia? Cardiff. I think Stephen King would be happy to meet you. I think Stephen King like has no idea who I am. But I will be happy to meet him because like he's my idol. He's the coolest writer and person I know. Um, you could come to Illinois, but it looks just like Donbas. Oh my god. Come to New Zealand after the war, Starsky. I have a cow you can ride. Sorry, my American friends. I have like the coolest offer I ever heard this year. Favorite King novel? So like every one of them. Of course, I'm a big fan of The Dark Tower, the books, not the movie. I'm so critical regarding the movie. But the book is, of course, it's amazing. It's like The Lord of the Rings, but I would say the scale of the Dark Tower is probably even bigger than the Lord of the Rings. Not that glamorous, but still. Oh, you gotta visit the Museum of Flight in Washington near one of the Boeing plants and then go to the Space Needle in Seattle. Ah, I'll keep that in mind. Have you heard about the drone hunters using nets or seen them in action? Uh, I think I saw the concept, but I have never seen them being used actually, the nets. Heard it is wrong to say the Ukraine. It is wrong to say the Ukraine. It is as wrong as to say like the Spain or the Germany. So why people say the Ukraine is because Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union and that's why it was referred to as part of the Soviet Union, but it's not part of the Soviet Union anymore. Um, Cheryl, I would be your nightmare date. Challenge accepted. All right. Uh, make a meet and greet in Germany. I would love that. Um, Florida, yes, and Starsky should also come to Canada. 100%. 100% because Dick Dawson, because my friends there. What is the Ukrainian word for Moscow? North Ocean, probably. Uh, have you had shrimps on the Barbie? Shrimps on the Barbie? I gotta try that. If you come to Cardiff, I'm only an hour away. I'll come say hi. Thank you so much. If I still have phone when I'm in Cardiff, guys, I'm just kidding. All right. Meet and greet in Crimea first. Yeah, absolutely. Show us the scar on my head. You're not gonna like it, but you can even see something here. Yeah, it looks very ugly. I will lose subscribers. Um, Russia is dead. Ukraine is still here. Absolutely, because when you think about it, like there was Russian Empire, right? It's no more. But Ukraine, occupied by the Russian Empire, is still there. Then there was like Soviet Union and Ukraine occupied by Soviet Union. Of course, Ukrainians were fighting against it, and the Soviet Union is no more, but Ukraine is still there. Then there was like Third Reich, Nazi Germany. Third Reich is no more, but Ukraine is still there. Then again, Soviet Union. Well, you know what I'm talking about. And now Russia is trying to do something. I think you can already predict the result, right? Come to Boston, weed is legal. Oh. It's really cool, but actually I don't consume that. Not because I'm not like, like radically against it, but because I puke further than I can see. So I'm not a fan. But I will definitely visit Boston because it's so cool. All right. Guys, I'm trying to follow the commentaries. Хуй России, Eli. You know the words. If you come to Spain, you are invited to a paella. Thank you so much, my friends. Whatever it means. Former nurse hair, I've seen worse. So the problem is that you haven't seen, because it's like it's over there on the back of my head, which is the reason why I cut myself so bad. Are you still live streaming? I'm like half live streaming because I'm so sleepy right now. It's 2 a.m. actually. But I just cannot stop. Would you please do another live with Denis Davidov? I would love that. Actually, I think we can do that easily. Oh, me too, Starsky. I have to choose between pot and drinking. Drinking wins. Drinking always wins. Too many places to see. There's only approximately 200 countries. Not too many. But on the other hand, for example, I heard that in Indonesia there's more than 1,000 islands or something like that. Imagine like Prime Minister of this country trying, like, there are places he will never visit in his life. How crazy is that? In his own country. It's hard to imagine. Do you know the song Teroborona by Gogol Bordello? And if so, what do you think of it? I didn't hear it, but at the same time, there's a lot of so-called ambassadors for different Ukrainian brigades. For example, in my brigade, we also have an ambassador, and they made like a song for my brigade, which sounds, I would say, not bad. I like it. Maybe I will even find it and drop it in the chat if I can. They wrote it specifically for our brigade. So there are ambassadors. There are famous Ukrainian singers supporting Ukrainian brigades, like in the armed forces, in the National Guard. In our case, it's like, so in order to find it, I will have to close the chat, unfortunately. Do you like acoustic music? I love acoustic music, and for example, I'm like big fan of searching like covers on YouTube. You know, when you have like some favorite song, and then you just search for covers for this song, because different musicians can change, you know, some given song so dramatically because they have their own vision of it. And sometimes covers can be as good as the song. So that is something I really like to do. I often think about Kadyrov doing push-ups. I often think that Kadyrov was trying to like, you know, have open a sex tunnel in that facility. Stream with Brandon. I will, as soon as he's here. I think we gotta do that. Brandon is funnier than me, actually. He's not as boring. I love Antitila. Their music is so powerful. Oh yeah, they are so cool. And they were cool even before the big invasion. They're so cool. I wish they had some songs in English. I'm not sure if they have it, but I wish they would sing in English. Regarding English language in the Ukrainian music in general, so before the war, right? Before the war, Ukrainian music was divided into like Russian speaking music, Ukrainian speaking music, and English speaking music. After the war started in 2014, and of course we realized that the Russian speaking, the Russian segment of Ukrainian music was of course part of the Russian cultural expansion. After the war started in 2014, people started like realizing that actually Russia used this, you know, this division in order to invade Ukraine. That's why people started like singing less in Russian, but more in English. But it's not because they were aimed at, you know, international audience. It was because they were too ashamed of singing in Ukrainian, and at the same time they were too freaking stupid to learn Ukrainian. And of course they didn't want to sing in Russian because it's all like, right, it sucks. So they were singing in English. And us, and people like me, for example, I had a band as well, but I was like, guys, like I can sing and make music in Ukrainian, so that I will do that. I don't care. And people like me were ashamed to sing in English because like we have beautiful language, we have like we can make beautiful music in Ukrainian. So currently I think it's not even shameful. I would be freaking proud to make music in English because of you guys, because of all the huge support provided to Ukraine from everybody. And I think that there's absolutely nothing shameful in singing in English anymore, which I think is amazing. Recently, I've watched statistics for like people who, like Ukrainian citizens who were asked whether they support the idea of learning English, you know, like widely, like in schools, etc., etc. And 80% of Ukrainian citizens support the idea of, you know, promoting English language like widely in the Ukrainian society, which I think is amazing because unlike Russians that stuck in the medieval times and their Nazi schizophrenia, it's so cool when you can speak like at least one foreign language. It's so cool because you can communicate, because you can learn, because you can watch YouTube, because you can watch movies like original movies, right, without dubbing. It's so cool. So I'm so happy that, you know, huge majority of my citizens, they realize this. It's very important. Say, I love you in Ukrainian. So it's like this. If you love beer, you can say Я тебе люблю to the beer. But if you love a girl, you can say Я тебе кохаю. And if you want to say it in like less cheesy way, you can say, and the girls love this, you can say Я тебе любцею. It sounds cute. It's a life hack if you want to marry a Ukrainian girl. Ellie, I'm fluent in English, Spanish, and sarcasm. Can cursing be considered language? Tomorrow is Veterans Day in the USA. 11th hour, 11th day, 11th month. Oh, it's good to know. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is running for president. Well, because he's a bodybuilder, he cannot run for too long. Actually, he can sprint, but as for, you know, running long distances, it's a different question. To say make love is кохатися. Yeah. Cursing is a universal language. I agree on that, John. Я тебя люблю or something. No. Black Moon. That is in Russian. That's what Russians say when they drink vodka. Я тебе люблю. That is Ukrainian version. But that's like you can say that to a girl, of course. But you can also say the same to like your mother, your beer, your Coca-Cola. Я люблю Coca-Cola. When did you learn English? Oh, I started learning when I was 6. So my dad brought this VHS tape from the UK in 1994 or 5. No, I was older, around 9, 10. Anyways, so he brought this VHS tape, and there was this thing that helped me, master English. Master, come on, I don't speak English that well. But what really helped me was this beautiful thing, recording on this VHS tape, and recording on this VHS tape was Muzzy, the alien, that big hairy green dude eating clocks and things like that. So that was my first like English learning VHS tape. And it helped me big time. Wasn't there a car brand name Moskvich? Maybe Elon can rebrand his Tesla cars to Muscovite. That would be more proper, I think. Ukrainian slang. It's a different topic, and by the way, I think we can dedicate next stream to this topic, or next Friday night chill, if you don't mind, because it just as any other slang, Ukrainian slang is a very big and rich part of our culture. What's the weather like in your area? Approximately 3 Celsius, cold, wet, and ugly. Starsky, did you ever watch Baywatch? I did only like opening, intro. Everything else is like not interesting. Anna from Ukraine mentioned a project called Balakun Chatterbox that has a YouTube channel to connect native English speakers to assist Ukrainians learn fluid English. Yeah, Balakun. I heard something like that. Ukrainian is a better language than English. I will soon be ready to move to Kiev or at least visit. First visit, okay? And then after you survive eating every single day, like 6 times a day because everything is so tasty, then you might consider moving. But, you can move, you can leave Ukraine, but Ukraine will never leave you. You got to keep that in mind. What is suka блядь, Russian or Ukrainian? Actually, it's like both, because both words exist in both languages. But as a Ukrainian, I don't really like cursing in every sentence, it sucks. It doesn't sound cool. So everything has like a proper place and time, you know. Like what makes me absolutely mad about Russians is that they speak like that, like to their kids. It's inappropriate. I've been to Turkey several times, and of course Turkey is one of the places frequently visited by Russian tourists. And I remember seeing them like 9 a.m. already freaking drunk and like cursing near their kids, and their kids cursing because their parents cursing. It's insane. It's so disgusting, like literally, guys. I'm dating a Ukrainian girl, but she hates me. Oh, what can I say, bro? I've been there too. Bonnie, I want to learn Ukrainian. It sounds so beautiful. It's also complicated. So, like, it's all. Sorry. Oh my god, my English broke. It's also so much complicated. Like, we have genders. Coca-Cola is she for some reason. The phone is he. It's like in German basically, and you have to remember which word is like a girl or a boy. It's like, yeah, it's a bit complicated. We have 7 cases. Uh, Actually, 8, 7 cases. It's kind of crazy, but it's really melodic. You can compare Ukrainian language to Italian language. Um, they're yeah, they're similar for some reason. Is Pepsi he? No, Pepsi is also she because it's cola, and cola is a girl. Starsky, tell them about declension of nouns. That will blow their mind. Yeah, like Andriy, right? I go to see Andriy. Я йду побачити Андрія. Andriy turns into Андрія. I bring this pen to Andriy. Я несу цю ручку Андрієві. So it's like Андрій, Андрія, Андрієві. This phone is Andriy's. This is like Andriy's phone. Це телефон Андрієвий. And there's more. There's more. You have to remember everything. So yeah, it's complicated, but if you're not afraid of challenges, you gotta think about it. What if a cola decides to identify itself as a he? She's already she. It's not it. It's not. She's not it. The Ukrainian language is like French. They have genders as well, just like German language. Can the Dnieper freeze over in winter and serve as a route for an offensive? Hi from Croatia. Hello, my friend. Hello to beautiful Croatia. It is possible unless you consider moving tanks across the Dnipro River, because I cannot imagine, you know, like the ice that can, you know, withstand a 40-ton tank, 40 tons of metal. It's crazy. I might be wrong, of course. German has 3 genders. Yeah, German has 3 genders, and they don't have those 7 cases like in our case. But still, like, it's really hard to remember which word is which gender, you know. Icelandic language is perhaps the most difficult. I can agree on that. Remember that volcano? Was it in Iceland? Yeah, I think it was in Iceland. The volcano that you know, caused like most of the airplanes to just wait for several weeks, I think, before they started crossing Atlantic again. I'm still struggling trying to pronounce the name of that volcano. It was insane. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, sorry. Oh my God, my friend. I didn't want to do that. I accidentally hid my friend from Croatia. I'm so sorry. It was not my intention. My fingers slip. Oh my God. It happens. Yeah, for something like that. What gender is beer? Beer is it, for some reason. In Ukrainian language, beer is it. Beer doesn't identify itself as, you know, yeah, that one, Brody, yeah. Do you get to talk to Max and Pasha much? From time to time. Are there many regional accents across Ukraine? So we have very distinctive accent in like Poltava, Kiev not so much, Polisia is where like Zhytomyr, yes. Then Odessa, they have some specific accent. Donbas, of course. Then West Ukraine and Carpathian region. And in that region, there are people that speak Ukrainian, but you cannot understand them because their accent is so tough. It's almost like a local dialect. OCT is also here. What's the best brand of Ukrainian beer? So the thing is, I didn't drink beer for years. And in order to answer this question, I have to start. So maybe when I start, I will tell you. Why, like, why the hell am I blocking people? Guys, what the hell is happening to me? Did I just hide you? Sleek Wild D. If you're accidentally blocked, I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm scrolling this chat and I'm like literally blocking people, you know. I didn't mean to do that. Sleek Willy D, if you're there, please let me know. I'm worried about you. Oh, daughter of Texas. Operator Starsky, been talking to Ukrainian border guard, I think near the south part of Dnipro, for a while now, and would like to know what would be a great way to write or say a greeting in Ukrainian. Well, before I answer this question, I really hope that Sleek Willy is okay. I hope he is. Oh, Claire is here as well. It's really good to see you. Sleek, did I block you? Oh, all right, all right. Oh my God, thank God you're here. Okay. All right. Greeting in Ukrainian. You can wish good health. Everybody wishes good health and happiness. It's really like mainstream. That's why it's so cool. A volcano in Iceland is expected to erupt soon. Ah. Sounds awesome. Starsky, what is your favorite Ukrainian dish? Probably French fries in Ukrainian McDonald's, it counts. What happened to the Belarusian mustache guy? I've heard nothing about him for a while. The potato man? Well, I think I saw him being mentioned in the media like yesterday. I don't care. Happy Friday, everyone. I think I can hear Fudge puking. I'll check it out later. Stop touching, just back away from the keyboard. I cannot avoid it. Operator, do you know TVPs break the fake? It's amazing. It is amazing, yeah, and we need more of that. We need more of that in every country, in the language of this country. Because apparently Russians have that in every country, in the language of this country. Starsky, when do you sleep? Actually, I've been planning to go to sleep like 1 hour ago, approximately. And probably I will do that in like 10 minutes. Maybe earlier. What are your thoughts on the connection of Russia and Hamas? There's plenty of evidence that Russia and Hamas are connected. Check out, pictures of Lavrov together with one of the leaders of Hamas. Russian weapons used by Hamas. Russian money sent to Hamas through one of the biggest stock exchange in Russia, like days before this attack happened. So there's pretty solid evidence that they have connection. And when people say that it was like beneficial for Russia when this war started, I'm talking about the Israel, beneficial because they needed to distract the world's attention from Ukraine. I think the main idea was not like distracting attention, even though it's important as well for Russians, because the one thing they dream about is Ukraine not receiving aid and supplies from its partners. Like when this aid stops, Russians will become absolutely happy because they will have a chance to win finally. But I think it was done because Russia expected to destabilize the world, and basically this is exactly what happened, because the world is currently very much polarized. There's a lot of people who support Palestine, even like ignoring all their atrocities. There's a lot of people supporting Israel, and at the same time, you know, like who's the closest allies of Israel, and you know who are the closest allies of Hamas. That's why people are fighting each other right now, everywhere in the world. And this is exactly what Russia needs right now, because when like Russia celebrates when new problems emerge in your country. I just nearly blocked somebody else. Oh my god. Hi Starsky, this might be a bit heavy for a Friday night, but what do you think your countrymen will think about giving away so much of your independence to the European Union after finally securing it? So there is such thing called collective benefit and collective security. And you know, sometimes, and this is the situation that I'm talking about right now in Europe. Sometimes collective security and not only NATO, but it's related to the European Union as well. Collective security is much more important than your national security, because as a nation you can be really cool, I can respect you and stuff like that, but alone as an economical power, as a military power, if there is some mofo like Russians, right? Some freaking orcs, some invaders or terrorists, you like there's a very, very small chance that your country will survive either informational attack or military attack from Russia. That's why sometimes you have to think a bit wider and realize that only together with other countries, together with other partners, you are stronger, actually. You may lose some like income, some profits. Eventually you will have to share some of your income with less strong countries, for example. But at the same time, together, you will be indestructible. This is something we should all remember. Yes, national interests are like very much important. Sometimes international interests are more important. again, if there is some, some motherfucker out there just across the border, right, dreaming to freaking invade your land, steal your toilet, rape your pig or something like that. All right, friends. I think it's a good time to say that I love you and I respect you, but I gotta go to bed. It's almost 3 a.m. here in Ukraine. I promised the shells to join them, but I will violate my promise and literally go to sleep. I'm sorry, guys. It's 3 a.m. and I gotta get up in like 4 hours. Okay, thank you so much for all your beautiful questions. I literally was half asleep and half sick, by the way, a bit, while answering them. We'll see you next time. I will keep updating you with information from Ukraine as much as I can. Hopefully, I will, I will keep this pace that I have right now. I think it's good. And we'll see you next time. Be safe, my friends. Don't forget about supporting Ukraine, and if you do, you are amazing. You are doing the right thing. All right, my name is Operator Starsky. As always, be safe and see you later. Bye-bye.